someone left a very interesting comment on my YouTube channel the other day that left me thinking. It was the video about my life, where I'm from, and my struggles with depression and anxiety in my 20s. It says something around the lines of, oh, you have too much free time to think about getting depressed. You should just go and do something about it. And and he was saying about his life, about that he came from a very poor family, and his shoes were open and he had to put cellular tape on them, something like that, and that he had to go work and help his brothers. And then he was criticizing me about having the luxury of being depressed and having anxiety, and that I shouldn't, and I should just not allow myself not to have enough time to feel like that. And to which I responded, because in the video I share more about my whole life and where I come from, and I don't come from a very privileged background. I come from quite a poor family and poor country in Eastern Europe originally, even though I grew up in a Western country, or Southern Europe. I guess it's considered just a Western world, not as much as America, but still a Western country. That comment left me thinking, because I realized it's the same thing that my parents would tell me, my Eastern European parents who grew up in a communist country. They would tell me growing up, whenever I would say maybe in middle school I started having depressions, I would tell something like that to them, and then they would be like, oh, just do more house chores, because that's how you heal depression. You have too much time to think, right? So, and I was wondering, I was asking myself actually, that it is a luxury to have more time to think about these things, but it's also a luxury to be able to start prioritizing your mindset and your thoughts and your beliefs, and analyzing them and understanding that you want something different, that you don't want to repeat the same cycles that you grew up with, and that if you have a family, you don't want to raise them in the same way in which you were raised, which is pretty much a survival state, because that was the situation that my family was in when I was little, and they had kids early, and that was the tradition where they are, and you just had to get by and sort out your life after having kids. That's not how I want to live my life. I'm realizing I'm privileged to be able to have more time to dedicate to my mindset and to changing this and shifting my beliefs and investing in myself. And I did that in all my 20s, even when I was still just getting by, because I was having minimum wage jobs, and I still invested a lot in my mindset, probably much more than the people around me or peers my age, just because I wanted something different, and because I was determined to not accept that I should repeat the same patterns that my parents repeated, or that I should just go with the flow and just do what I'm told, to just get an average life that I'm not even happy about, to make someone else happy. And you know what? We're all gonna die. So if you start experiencing life from a different mindset, then you realize that you can achieve more things in your life compared to just the things that you were taught that you're supposed to do with it. And sometimes depression and anxiety is a result of these changes, and the fact that you don't want to just be like the status quo that just accepts toxic relationships in their life, that they think that they should make themselves small so that others can be happy, and that you have to, what's the word, just be there for anyone else's feelings but not for your own. So in the process, abandon yourself and your own feelings to make others happy. So it's a process, and it's a tough one, and it can lead to depression and anxiety and CPTSD. And I think I'm so very proud of myself, of the journey I'm in, and I'm realizing that it is a privilege to be able to do this work, but if it's also a priority rather than just a privilege, then you invest in yourself, and then you strive to better yourself and to do things differently than what you were taught, even if it will make some people unhappy in the process. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts.